Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So before I get started with this video, I want to let you all know that probably during my lunch break, I'm going to do another video about this tragedy that took place where you had this 41-year-old white man kill an 18-year-old black boy. So you all look out for that video. Again, that's going to be during my lunch break. I plan to post that probably around 1 or 2. So y'all look out for that. But for this video, I want to talk about Donald Trump nominating Brett Kavanaugh as the new Supreme Court Justice. If appointed, he will replace Justice Kennedy. And as I've said in prior videos, Justice Kennedy was a swing vote on the Supreme Court when it comes to issues like affirmative action and other civil rights issues. He's not a liberal by any definition. He leans right, but he tended to be a swing vote on these important issues like affirmative action. And affirmative action is a very important issue for the black community. Without affirmative action, many of us would not have an opportunity to go to college. Many of us would not have an opportunity to go to graduate school and to become doctors, lawyers, and other professionals. So affirmative action is very important. And this new person, Kavanaugh, he, by any indications and by the positions that Donald Trump has taken, he will more likely than not oppose affirmative action, thereby jeopardizing affirmative action. It is very likely that affirmative action may be declared unconstitutional if Donald Trump has his way. As I pointed out in prior videos, Donald Trump has made his position clear, and I'm sure he vetted this particular candidate on that issue. Donald Trump has made it clear that he opposes affirmative action. He's used the Justice Department to announce that they're no longer insisting that universities promote diversity through affirmative action. He's also made it clear that he wanted to use the Justice Department to oppose affirmative action at schools like Harvard. So it's very likely that Donald Trump and this appointee are going to use their position to get rid of affirmative action. And this is another reminder of how important elections are. I cannot stop stressing that. It is very important that each and every one of us vote. You have these people who are defeatists, basically saying that you can't change anything. The powers that be have selected this man. These same people were saying that the powers that be selected Hillary Clinton, and we see how that turned out. These people don't know what they're talking about. And by telling you and me not to vote, these people have empowered a man, Donald Trump, who is a white supremacist, who supports white supremacy. Now, some people will say that's going too far, but the facts speak for themselves. This man panders to white supremacists. This man speaks the language of white supremacists. There's a documentary on Netflix that I encourage you all to watch called The White Right. It's on Netflix. It talks about how all these white racists, these white supremacists, are inspired by Donald Trump. It talks about how he is speaking their language when he talks all this anti-immigrant stuff. When he talks about all this nationalism stuff, he is speaking the language of white supremacists. And sadly, some of these people who profess to be pro-black, not only are they discouraging black people from voting, these people are running with white supremacist talking points against immigration. These people are like the puppets of white supremacy, even though they profess to be so opposed to white supremacy. Anytime you discourage your people from voting, you are participating in voter suppression against your own community. And these same people that told you and me not to vote, these same people who had the Don't Vote campaign, these are the same people who have the nerve, who have the gall to fix their mouths to complain about Donald Trump being a white supremacist. When these people could have made a difference, when these people could have used their audience, used their platform to encourage more people to vote, to mobilize voters to help prevent Donald Trump from being elected. If Donald Trump wasn't president, we wouldn't face this dilemma today with the appointment of a Supreme Court justice. These Supreme Court justices, the Supreme Court, they make decisions every single day that impact our lives directly. So anybody that tells you that elections don't matter, that's a damn fool. And every day we're reminded of just how important these elections are, man. So I'm just going to close on this note. The Democrats must fight this appointment. With every fiber of their being, they must fight it. They must fight. Those Republicans weren't playing when Obama was in the White House. They did everything in their power to obstruct Obama. They did everything in their power to prevent him from appointing judges to the federal bench. They did everything in their power to prevent him from appointing another Supreme Court justice. They did everything that they could to prevent that. They held up an appointment. And because of that, the Republicans were able to get that guy Gorsuch on the Supreme Court. It's time for the Democrats to grow a set of balls, man, and stand the hell up instead of backing down like some punk-ass cowards, man. They need to fight as if their life depends on it. You know, all these women that voted for Donald Trump, you know, despite his history of sexism, despite him boasting about sexually assaulting women, they voted for him. And now these same women face the prospect of losing their right to choose. Man, I mean, this situation is just crazy, man. It's like these people, you know, they're motivated by their race over their gender. You know, they put that first. And the bottom line is this, man. We have to fight Donald Trump's appointment to the Supreme Court with every fiber of our being. We need to contact our congressmen, our senators, and encourage them to vote against this appointment. On principle, man. I don't care what school this judge went to. I don't care that he went to Yale. I don't care that he was a judge on the D.C. Appeals Federal Court. I don't care about any of that stuff, man. All I'm concerned about are the issues that affect my people, man. I'm concerned about affirmative action. Even though affirmative action is already on life support, it's on its last leg, once they wipe out affirmative action, it's going to be more difficult for our young people to get an education, man. This is not about me, because I already have my education. It's about the generations behind us. It's about the babies, man, about our children and their opportunities being closed to them because of this appointment. You know, as these rulings come down, every single day we're reminded of how important these elections are. But yet and still, you still have these delusional people on here telling you and me not to vote. So again, you know, I encourage you all to contact your senators and encourage them to vote no on this appointment for Brett Kavanaugh.